And if God has something to say, I think I found something in his word that I want to bring out tonight. I want to bring out this morning. Because this is, well, there are a couple things, but this is the best I could find. Trying to figure out how the church can be of greater service, trying to figure out where is God in this. I went to the 23rd Psalm. Now, the 23rd Psalm is one of the most beloved psalms in all the Bible. We all know it. I've preached it 100 times. You've read it. You know it by heart. But because the Bible is called the living word of God, that means that even something you read yesterday, you can read it tomorrow, and it'll say something different than what it said yesterday. Because it's a living word. So I found verse 4. Bring up verse 4 again, please. Psalm 23 and 4. I've read Psalm 23 and 4 a million trillion times. But the other day I read it and I saw this. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I pulled that out for this sermon. The valley of the shadow of death. The valley of darkness. Yea, though I walk through the valley of darkness. I pulled it out because what it does for me is it says that there's a realization that some of us are going to go through some dark valleys. It's right there in the psalm. And the crazy thing is, I like where it is in the psalm. So it's between this mountaintop of the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He will make me lie down in green pastures, still waters, restore. And it's also between goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Those are like two mountaintop experiences. You got the first mountain, the Lord is my shepherd. You got the second mountain, goodness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. But if you got two mountains, then in between the mountains has to be a what? A valley. And so I'm excited about the two mountains, but I understand there may be a valley that some of us have to go through. And the valley is a dark valley. And I equate it to anybody dealing with mental illness who finds themselves falling into this valley, falling into this place. It has to be a scary place. It has to be a scary place, especially if you come to the realization, I might be losing my mind, that my mind is playing tricks on me. No matter how big and strong I am physically, my mind is playing tricks on me. My mind is not acting right. It's not snapping right. And I feel myself now sinking down low into this dark place. I'm trying to get from you and I some empathy. Trying to get us to understand what this person is going through. That we don't just write them off. Because sometimes, when depending on where you are and your situation, when you fall into mental illness, there are people who will write you off. There are people who will ostracize you. You can fall into mental illness and it leads you into homelessness. And you can be out here on these streets and there are people who actually beat you up just because you are mentally ill. I'm trying to make sure that we have the right empathy. So they ended up in this dark place, this dark valley that I personally never wanted to fall into. Never. With all the things that I can list that I've done in my life that almost led me there, I've never wanted to just fall into that dark place. And I've always been thankful that God held me back.